My people, this is your celebrity teacher one reporting from Master Manager Niger News, and also standing in the stead of Master Manager. Master Manager, you have kept long. Come, the people are waiting. Today, let me ask you: do you have Ghana card? Do you really have Ghana card? Today, I'm going to talk about the history of what Ghana card. Since when did Ghana card start? Now, in 1973, the national identity cards were issued to citizens along the border towns or the border regions, be it the Volta region, Northern, Upper East, Upper West, Brong-Ahafo, and part of what? Western region. So in 1973, exactly 50 years ago, right? Exactly 50 years ago, Ghana cards or identity cards, as it was called then, were issued to citizens along the border regions, Volta, Brong-Ahafo, Northern, Upper East, and part of Western region. And then the project discontinued. That is 3 years later, the project discontinued due to lack of what? Logistics and financial support. So they stopped. They put a stop to. Again, in 1987, the government of the Provisional National Defense Council, as PNDC, through the National Commission for Democracy, NCD, revisited the National Identity Card concept by establishing committee, including a technical implementation committee. What are they coming to do? They revisited it in 1987, and then they instituted a committee. Which committee is that? A committee of what? A technical implementation committee. And due to economic difficulty, the issue was not pursued. So this Ghana card is not from today, long time ago. It starts, then it gets to a point, then over the bar. Then what happened? In 2001, when the National Economic Dialogue, was convened, the National Identification System, and then in 2001, we call it what? We called it National Identification System, NIS, was seen as a major policy concern. And as a result, a stakeholder organization was established to do the following. Well, did they do? One, study and review the 1991 National Identification Report. They should study and review the 1991 National Identification Report and also establish the main principles and then the conceptual procedures for an integrated national identification system for Ghana. So that was in 2001. And also identify and recommend specific technologies for such system and develop a plan of action and a time frame for the implementation of the system. So that is the identification card. Then the technical committee completed its assignment in 2002 and submitted a report to the cabinet. And then the report was accepted, but it had to form a basis for the government of the state. Yes, the government need to accept it and you need to hold water before. And what happened? The report was accepted, but it had to form a basis for the government to state to cover all citizens, including legal residents and non-Ghanaians. So now they have to study, and they are going to register. Are they going to register only Ghanaians or legal non-Ghanaians? The report stated that. And also help with crime prevention. Yes, the card will help with crime prevention, healthcare, welfare service, and disaster management. That is it. Assist in the delivery of public services to target population, banking services, and so forth and so on. So that is what the report that they will give out, the card that they will give, that is the work you're going to do. And also create a credible voters register and social security. Oh, okay, that is why they said they are going to use this to vote, whatever. So it was in about 2002, and that was what the report brought up. And also check the application and acquisition of what passports and driver's license and aid with increased revenue collection. Yes, so that is what the card is going to do. If you have the card, it will aid them to collect their revenue, their tax. Also, your information and everything is on it. So that Ghana card you have contains a lot. Please, let's put politics aside. Go and register and get yours. Okay. And by 2003, the National Identification Secretariat was set up to implement and manage the national identification system. So they set up some secretariat that to implement and manage the national identification system. That is NIS, National Identification System. The Act established the National Identification Authority, or the Act establishing the National Identification Authority was passed in 2006 with Professor Ernest Dumont appointed as Executive Secretary. Wow. Under the tenure, the NIA was able to acquire a host of logistical items required for institutional buildings of the NIA. So now they have to purchase all the cars and everything, machines, blah, 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 blah. Wow. The authority was able to acquire 1,510 mobile registrations workstations for the mass registration exercise that came with chargers and batteries from the NIAs. They started buying their things. And where did they buy it from? The NIA's technical partner was what? The SAGEM from France. So they were supplying them with the goods. Pickups, trucks, vans, and civilian buses were procured for the mass registration exercise. Drivers were recruited, interviewed, and selected. Wow, so even the card has not even come to being. They have recruited drivers, workers, and so on and so forth. That was in 2006. That is the history of your Ghana card. Materials like cartridges, registration forms, and writing materials were acquired. Individuals were recruited, trained, and selected as mobile registration workstation operators. So that is it. So since 1973 up to 2006, what happened? The National Identification Authority head office was built, and 97% of the building completed. So it was left with only 3%. A pilot mass registration exercise was held to test the forms, and then equipment deployed for the exercise, as well as the registration process as outlined by the authority. So they started a pilot, and then registrations, exercises, and so on and so forth was put into place. This pilot registration exercise took place in two communities. Do you know where? Abokobi and Sege. So Abokobi and Sege took place there. In Greater Accra region, for 10 days, that's from July 27 to August 4th, 2007. 2007. And then there's testing, selections, and training of staff for the Central and Western region were executed successfully, with mass registration taking off in the Central region on July 1st, 2008. By the end of 2008, Prophet Kenneth Atefua was appointed as executive secretary and oversaw the execution of mass registration in the Western, Eastern, and Volta region between August 2008 and July 2009. We were all saw it. Some of us even took place. What do you call it? Oh, we participated. We participated. On July 2009, Dr. William Ahaji began his appointment as the Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority, NIA. In 2019, the Automated Fingerprint Identification System, AFIS, Automated Fingerprint Identification System, AFIS, that is the core platform technology for the NIS, which enables accurate and prompt fingerprint matching with real-time accessibility, was launched by the authority and registration began nationwide. So have you seen where the national card was from? 1973, 87, 91, 2001, 2002, 2006, 2008 and 9, and then 2019. The 2019 one was successful, and we all, most of us are having it. In fact, the 2008 and 2009, most of us did not get it. But even those who got it could not use it. Don't use it until 2019's own. Today, I've given you the history behind Ghana card. Then the next time, I'm going to give you the importance of Ghana card. Why you need to have a Ghana card, whether a Ghanaian or non-Ghanaian. This is your celebrity teacher reporting from Master Manager Niger News. Until then, I say goodbye.